What's up guys, welcome to my vlog. This is my second vlog and today we're going to be doing the my first time tag. Okay, so the first one that I've got is my first job. I believe I was about 13, yeah about 13, and I did a paper round at my local shops. It lasted for about, funny enough, 3 years. And that was still there while I had my second and my third job, which really kind of sucked. Getting up at 6 o'clock in the morning every morning to deliver papers to grumpy old people. But what you gonna do? My first sport. Okay, so my first sport I believe was karate. I was about 6, maybe 7, seen it through till I was about 12. I actually got all the way up to my brown belt, one away from black, but unfortunately gave it up, wasn't enjoying it anymore. So, you know, you're not enjoying something, why pay to do it? The third one I have here are my hobby, my first ever hobby, apart from sports. So I believe my very first hobby, bar sports, was actually music. I got into guitar when I was about 6 years old, so around about the same time as karate, but I'm actually still playing guitar to this day. So yeah, my first hobby was music. My first Facebook status. Okay, so my first Facebook status was actually, how do I use Facebook? It come up saying, you know, my name, and then said, how do you work Facebook? So, yeah, I was a pretty stupid 11-year-old. My first car, I don't actually have my first car yet, so, yeah. My first motorbike. When I was 16, I always wanted to get a moped, but my parents would never let me because obviously you can only drive 50cc, which only goes around about 30 to 35 miles per hour. So I waited till I was 17 and I got myself a 125, I got myself a Vespa ET4, like an old school mod bike, lovely bikes. Went 70 miles an hour, flat, 80 down a hill, 90 if it was a really steep hill, but that was pushing it. First book I ever read, from what I can remember, I believe it was Horrid Henry, or, you know, something along them lines, like a really childish book, because obviously I was only a child at the time in infant school. So yeah, my first phone, I believe I had, when I was a kid, it wasn't actually my phone, it was my dad's old work phone, but I think he let me play with it when I was a kid. It was one of those Nokia things, but my very first phone that I had for myself didn't actually get till I was 10, and I got it as a birthday present. The Nokia, I can't remember what one it is. Do you guys remember the slidey ones with the music buttons on the side? Yeah, that was my first phone. It was amazing because obviously it had cameras, sliding and music all in one. It was fascinating for me. But yeah, so that was my first phone. My first laptop was a Dell Packard something. I actually got it when I went into secondary school. My parents bought it for me for my studies. Best present I've ever bought. I've actually still got the laptop to this day and it is still working fine. The first time I ever went to a party that was with alcohol. Now obviously as a kid you go to parties with your parents and there's alcohol around, but what I mean by this is gone to a party where it's just your friends or people that you know and you've gone to drink. Now I had gone to a party without adults and had alcohol when I was 13, but now that was AWKD, like 1, like I said, I was 13, so, you know, a WKD to a 13-year-old at the time is kind of like Whoa. But the first time I ever actually got drunk, I wouldn't say till I was just about a few months before I turned 16. Um, I went to a friend's house party, and I got so drunk that I was, okay, I'll be honest, I was being sick everywhere. And then someone told me my mum was coming to pick me up, so I walked out and went to where I'd normally meet my mum, thinking, do you know what, I'll sober up when I get there. Sat down for a little while, no one was sitting with me, and next thing I know, my mum's best friend was sitting next to me, who some reason was at this party. My mum pulled up, and apparently I started to cry. Don't know why. I was so drunk, according to my mum, the police pulled her car over, and yeah, they basically laughed at me. Got home, my mum actually had to not carry me, but guide me to my bedroom while I was stumbling up the stairs, and you know, and getting changed. Apparently I was falling over everywhere, and hey, what are you gonna do? It was the first time, but ever since then I've never actually got that drunk, down to the fact of, I think it gave my liver such a kick in, it just, I don't know. First band that I ever listened to, now, a lot of people's first bands that they listen to, or have heard of, is 9 times out of 10 Blink-182, Sum 41 or Green Day. The first band that I actually listened to was Pink Floyd, and this was for like the age of 2. Now the reason I remember this is because Pink Floyd, Deep Purple, Jimi Hendrix, Metallica, and bands of that nature is the music I was brought up with. It's something that both of my parents listened to, especially my dad. My mum just listens to music, but it's the music my dad loves. R.E.M., you know, but the first band I actually remember listening to, like I say, is Pink Floyd. My first ever festival, funny enough, I'm actually almost 18, and I've only recently, within like the last month, gone to a festival, and that festival was NAS. You probably can't even see that. NAS, VIP. Went with a few of my friends, had an amazing time. We see Cypress Hill, we see Hannah Wants, we see Borgore, we see the Bronx, we see Skindred. We see some amazing acts while we were there. And if I had paid for all of them separately at different gigs, I would have been looking at £300 to £400. So, an amazing festival. My first instrument. Now, once again, as most of you probably can tell by this when I said about my first hobby, my first instrument was actually the guitar. I first started playing electric, then I went on to acoustic, and now went back to electric, and now I play both. Like I say, I've been playing since I was 6. My first word, I believe my first word was just dad, straight up dad. Don't know how old I was or anything like that, but it was dad, because I was a bit of a daddy's boy. My first game console. Now, my dad used to have a PS1 when I was a kid, and I was kind of allowed to play it, but that's not something I owned, so I'm not going to class that as my first games console. I'd say my first game console was a PS2. Yeah, PS2. My first game that I got was actually Grand Theft Auto, I think. Yeah, Grand Theft Auto. Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. That was an amazing game, and it kind of made my childhood. I say made my childhood, it made it and braked it. I played it so much that I didn't actually socialise with other people. So when it got taken away from me, it kind of forced me to go out and socialise. So it made it, but yet broke it. If that makes sense. Also, guys, this is one that I've left till last because it's, people say soppy, but I don't care. My first love. Now, I don't mean first love as in, you know, making it, but I mean first love as in the first person that I've actually fallen in love with, and that is the girl that I'm still with today, my girlfriend. Love her to bits, but I'm not going to get into all of that mushy stuff because this is vlogs, it's not my mushy. So anyway, guys, hope you enjoyed the vlog. If you liked the video, give it a big thumbs up. If you didn't like it, still give it a thumbs up. It helps me out a lot. My Twitter and Instagram will be in the description below. Make sure to subscribe for later videos. And for now, as always, peace.